Peace everyone, I'm Mascard here and welcome back to the Drawing Journal. Alright everyone, so as the title says, I'm going to be doing a 3-color challenge, and this is normally done with markers, but I have a little bit of a story for this line art here that I have. And the paper that it's on, I don't really like to use markers because it's a bit spongy. So I'm going to be using Polychromos colored pencils instead, and here are my 3 colors. I'm not doing the whole random color thing. I picked the colors that I wanted because I like them. So the colors that I have are the Cad Yellow, the Mauve. I think that's mauve. I don't know what that color is supposed to be. It's purple. And then, of course, a teal color, which is Chrome Oxide Green Fiery, which is a very unnecessarily long name. But I chose these 3 colors because the Cad Yellow has a bit of a orange tint to it, and that is the complement to teal. And yellow, of course, is the complement to purple. So I thought that these 3 colors would go well together. And this line art here, this line art is from a collaboration that never came into full fruition. And that collaboration was with Nick from Import Autumn. I've done a collaboration with his channel before in the past, before he took like a long break from making YouTube videos, but he's back with a vengeance now. If you are interested, I have his channel linked below in the description. I definitely recommend checking it out. He has a new video series that he's been doing, and if I'm not mistaken, I could be mistaken, but I don't think that I am. He actually does it for his full-time job now, which is awesome. So his videos come out every week. They're really fun, and every single week he issues a new challenge, and this week was the 3-color challenge. And I was like, you know what? I have this line art that's been lying around for like 10 months. I don't even know how long. It could be even longer than that. Not quite sure when I drew this, but the collaboration that we were supposed to do was that we each made line art, and then we were going to ship it to one another and color each other's line art. Well, this was the one that I was going to ship to him. I don't think he's ever seen it before. I've never shared it. I actually kind of forgot about it, but I decided to dig it out of my drawer and do some 3-color challenge with it. I have no plan with this color scheme other than my 3 colors, and I don't know where to really begin, to be honest with you. I think maybe I'll start with the head and try to work something out. I'm going to start with my mid-tone teal color, but before I do that, hello Anna and Kalya, Stephanie, Shiny, Coffee Cat, Steve, Petra, and Jeff. Welcome everyone for the Drawing Journal. Glad you could make it. Let's see. Hopefully everybody had a good weekend. Mine was alright, I guess. I don't really remember it. Yeah, I don't really know what I did this weekend. Kind of relaxed, I guess. Played some Magic, and played a whole lot of chess. I have been kind of obsessed recently with playing chess. I play way more than I should, and I definitely play way more to be a lot better than what I am. I'm really quite terrible. But I've been having a lot of fun with it, and I never really thought much about chess until very recently. I got into playing it, and I just kind of randomly started fiddling around with it, and then I started to get more and more competitive with it because I really enjoyed beating people online. and now I'm just super into it. I watch right now the chess champions Nakamura and Carlsen are doing the Fischer Random 960, and it's like day 4, and I've been kind of watching that live stream every day for the past few days, and it's been fun. But if any of you are fans of chess and would like to play chess with me sometime, feel free to join me on chess.com. This isn't a sales pitch, it's free. You can just sign up on Facebook or whatever. But it's my name. My name is unmask_art. So it's still unmask art, but there's a little underscore in there. You can find me. You can add me as a friend on chess.com and challenge me to a game if you want. I think that'd be kind of fun if any of you are fans of playing chess. That video was fun where I beat that one guy. Yeah. For those of you that don't know what Anna is talking about, like a couple weeks ago or whatever, I posted a video on my personal Facebook page because it was like a weekend or so after getting into chess, and there is this guy, Sam, that live streams like every other day for chess.com, and he was about twice my rating level on chess.com, and he challenges people during his live stream, and I was like, what are the chances? So I challenged him, and I beat him pretty bad. It was it was a good time. His facial expressions were just hilarious, and so I took the video of me beating him and posted it on my Facebook page, and had a good laugh about it. It was a fun day for sure. Oh goodness, excuse me. Oh, hello, Lady Marigold and Elise. Glad to see you here. Oh, I can't stay long. That's too bad. No, I can barely remember yesterday. I as soon as a day is over, I tend to like just memory dump it and forget about the day. And before I forget about what happened this morning, so as I mentioned Nick and his channel, one of the things that kind of motivated me to do this challenge was that recently he contacted me and asked me about doing an interview with some representatives from Redbubble. And if you're unfamiliar with Redbubble, it is a print-on-demand website, kind of like Fine Art America or whatnot. And you can upload designs and get it printed on, phone cases, pillows, t-shirts, hoodies, all that stuff. And so he got me in contact with a couple of the representatives there in Australia, and so I had a conference call with them this morning, and they've they've really motivated me into setting up a Redbubble store. So I think that this weekend I'm going to get some designs together, especially some nugget designs. I told them about Nugget and everything like that. They thought it was hilarious, and I'm going to get some Nugget designs and just some of my logos and things like that, and set up a quick little Redbubble store so that if you want to get some stickers or a shirt or something like that, I'll have that available finally. And if I'm not mistaken, they also do art prints. So I'll put up a few exclusive prints maybe, and finally I'll be able to sell some prints if anybody has been interested in some of the work that I've done over the past few years, I'll have prints of that work available over on Redbubble soon. But they were super nice, and they were picking my brain about what I wanted in a merchandise store kind of setting. And I told them, I was like, well, to be honest with you, since I already have a website set up, I would like to have it, ideally I would like to have it integrated into my website, but they currently don't have that option, but it's something that they like to start being able to supply to people. But yeah, it was a cool conversation, and it really motivated me to get a merch store, because I know that especially from Inktober, a lot of people wanted stickers and shirts and things of some of my Inktober pieces from last year, and I think that it's probably about time to just go ahead and set one of those up, and if somebody buys something, then great. If not, then it's free for me to set it up and everything. So at the very least, you'll have the option, and the merchandise will be there. Oh, hello, Riss, DJ Sandra, and Robert. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody else coming into the live stream. Glad you're thinking about getting a store. I'm sure it will do well for me. Well, thank you, Coffee Cat. Yeah, I think it's a little past due. I've talked about, and I've voiced this kind of feeling with them over the conference call. I was like, I always kind of felt like the print-on-demands were kind of stealing, in the sense that it's the artist that puts in the work, or has put in the work, to create the art over the years of building their skills, and then this kind of print-on-demand stuff kind of just takes advantage of their lack of ability to set up their own businesses that print their stickers and whatnot. But they kind of changed my mind. I stay flexible with my opinions, and I'm very willing to have my mind changed. And I think that they changed my mind about my feelings in regards to those kind of print-on-demand things. So I'm fairly confident to say that I will for sure set up a merchandise store so that you guys can, get some hoodies or some t-shirts with whatever, or nugget stickers. I'll figure it out. I'll make something up. All right. Well, I kind of like where this is going. I want them to have some more texture here, so I think I'm gonna add some green dots, just random green dots. I'm gonna use the fact that the paper's white to create kind of a highlight, kind of a bug-like shell. Just randomly putting dots. There. Now he's got a little bit more texture. That's fantastic. About time you set up a store. I knew it in my heart. All your hard work will pay off, and you'd be very successful, and all your hopes and dreams just the beginning. Well, thank you so much, Steve. Oh, and I also, yesterday, I officially hit 20,000 subscribers. So insane. I think gosh, it was like July of last year that I hit 10,000. So it's only been 6 months, and I've grown, I've doubled my channel. Like, that's insane. I didn't even think about that until just now, but in 6 months I doubled my channel. I went from 10,000 to 20,000. So hopefully, hopefully in 3 months I'll be at 40,000. And then hopefully in 4 months, no, hopefully in 4.5 months, I will be at 80,000. And hopefully by the end of this year, I will be at 100,000. Like I would totally go insane. I don't even know what I would do if I reached 100,000. That would just blow my mind completely. The fact that I'm at 20,000, gosh, I don't even know. I don't even know how it happened. It just started like snowballing out of control, but in a good way. So because I've reached the 20,000, I definitely tomorrow I'm going to start filming the unboxing thing for that drawing monitor, the Huion drawing monitor that I got, so that I can do the giveaway by the end of this month. I would like to set up the giveaway for that drawing monitor by the end of the month, because I think that's a great way to celebrate 20,000 subscribers. But I kind of have some bad news, in the sense that my iPad broke. So I can't do Instagram anymore. As of right now, I can't do Instagram, and I can't make tutorial type videos for YouTube, because I have to have an iPad in order to control my GoPro. Otherwise I can't see what I'm shooting, and it doesn't work. For some reason it doesn't let me log in to my my Apple ID account, so I can't install apps, I can't update apps, I can't connect it to my, I just can't use it. It turns on, everything works, the battery works, the internet works on it, but for some reason I can't log in. And I can only imagine there's something wrong with the iPad itself. I don't know. But yeah, as of right now, I'm unable to make any type of video that I use my GoPro for. But fortunately, I don't have to use my GoPro to make that video. So I can do that. But yeah, I just had problems with my computer because I accidentally broke my mouse. I don't know if I explained that on the Drawing Journal last week or whatever, but yeah, all of my electronics just want to fail at the same time. It happens to me all the time. I'm just glad my microphone and my webcam here and this camera here still works properly, because the next thing I know, my camera, my computer is just going to explode, or my hard drive's going to get corrupted. I'm going to lose all my video files and photos. I don't know. Thank you, Elise and Lady Marigold. Is this a grasshopper? This is a grasshopper, yes. It is indeed a grasshopper. Thank you, Anna and DJ. The only bummer with the growth is it will be so hard to keep up with the personal touch with all of us, but I know that you won't leave us far behind. I will gladly continue to add my support. Yes, I agree, Steve. You know, that's something that I've mentioned. Let me try to color some more. That's something that I've mentioned in the past. You know, I always liked to take the time to respond to everybody's comments on my channel, and I still try to do that. I can't. I try. I do. I really do. To keep up with the questions and comments that I get every day on my YouTube channel. It is getting much more difficult to keep up with that side of the personal thing, but honestly, the live streams feel a lot more personal, and I recognize a great number of you guys. And when somebody new comes in, I try to make a mental note of their name and whatnot. So I think that's where Patreon is going to start taking over a little bit. I'll certainly remember those of you that support me on Patreon and join me on the live streams over there. But it does get a little bit more difficult. You know, it's kind of like a teacher in a public school that has to remember the names of like 75 students every single school year. That's what it kind of feels like. But fortunately, you know, I don't have a school year, and I just get to see the same people every live stream. But yeah, for the new people that come in, I gotta try to keep up best I can to have the names memorized. Takes me a little time, but for the most part, I think for the most part, I surprise myself because I'm actually really bad at remembering names. I'm one of those people that if I meet you in person and shake your hand and you tell me what your name is, I forget it by the time I release your hand. I'm really bad with that. Let's see. Hopefully I didn't miss anything in the chats. Your microwave died last week. You know, I haven't used a microwave. Let's see. I haven't owned a microwave since 2008. So it's been about a decade since I've owned a microwave. Yeah. And even I think even when I did own it, I didn't use it very much. Has anyone drawn on pure rag paper? Came across some old stuff a neighbor inherited. It's called Blue Lake, made with fancy volcanic water and to make it. Well, that sounds like the most insane paper I've ever heard of, Shiny. Pure rag paper made of volcanic water. That is very interesting. Oh, hello, Doodle Stuff. You forget names immediately. Yeah, I think we've had the name forgetting conversation before on previous live streams, but yeah, I'm pretty awful with names, and I always feel really bad. But it's funny. It's kind of easy. It's kind of easy in Poland because everybody has the same name. There's like 4 names, I swear. Everybody I meet is either Michał, Kuba, or Arthur. Like there's like 3 guys' names, and every girl is either Anna or Katarzyna, which Katarzyna shortens down to Ada. So there's like it seems like they just use the same names over and over again, which makes it really easy to remember everybody's name, but not know who you're talking about in a group. Because when I go and play Magic tournaments on Sundays, and my opponent's name is Michał, it could be like 5 people, and I'm like, which Michał? So yeah, it's funny, but yeah, it makes it easy in some cases, but difficult in groups. Your grandfather's name was Janek. Yeah. That's a name I've come across a number of times as well. Janek. Actually, I think that's my wife's boss's name. Janek. I for some reason that name. I think that's his name. I should really know his name. Oh, hello, Brenda. Sounds like the south of Italy. Every family member has the same 2 names for generations. Yeah. So I think what I'm going to do here, I've incorporated just a small amount of purple, but I'm going to make him mostly green and yellow, I think, and then try to incorporate a lot of the purple into his wings. I want to add some more yellow down here. I want to get some more yellow into him. I don't want it to just be green and boring. I'm going to make this shell here mostly yellow, I think. Keep his legs in this area greenish, more greenish, kind of like this, so you can kind of differentiate between the body parts a little bit. I think that's going to be my goal. The paper is totally insane. It might have been, I might have to buy it off her. Oh, a vintage set of Carbothello pencils. That sounds very interesting. In Texas, everybody's name is Howdy. What's the number of the green-blue pencil? It is 276. The number for the yellowish orange one is 108, and the violet purple is the 249. Polychromos. I'm trying to think of what else I wanted to talk about today. I suppose I maybe talk a little bit too fast, because now I feel like I ran out of stuff to say. Because I wanted to talk about the Redbubble store that I'm planning on opening up. But I suppose on the topic of, you know, Redbubble and opening up a merch store, what if you guys have any ideas, what would you like to see as far as designs that I put in the store and whatnot? Because I have two logos. I have my mask logo, and then I have my signature stamp, which those are definitely going to go in there, just so you know. And then I have a whole bunch of artwork, you know, that I could easily just change into a print design, or sell specific prints of artwork that I created. So if you have any requests or something that I should make kind of a priority in regards to that, feel free to let me know, because I'm definitely open to suggestions. Try to make as much of what you want available as soon as I can, and continue to make new pieces and new designs available as much as possible. T-shirts, yeah, T-shirts will be there. The Jaguar, that's your best drawing. Beef food on the, wait, what? The Jaguar, that beef food on the, good, not, oh, okay, that makes, yeah, be good on girls' T-shirts. Yeah, I could throw that up on there. I would go with your artwork for variety and to promote your artwork name. Okay, Elise, you take care. Glad you could stop by and say hello. Yeah, I'll throw up as much as I can this weekend, and let you guys browse. And I have some particular designs in mind. And you can get a coffee mug too. So I have an idea for a fun Unmasked Art family coffee mug. I think that'd be kind of cool. I know a lot of you are tea and coffee drinkers, so I'm a tea drinker myself. No coffee for me, but I think I might have to get myself a new mug. Doodle, good idea, Nugget. Yes, there's definitely going to be some Nugget merchandise coming to the Redbubble store. That is definitely going to happen, Brenda, for sure. Yeah. Gotta get some Nugget merchandise. It was funny because during our conversation this morning, I told them about Nugget, and they kept they kept giving me Nugget ideas. I told them how I made everybody fall in love with slugs during Inktober, and they thought it was funny. But I need a Nugget t-shirt in my life for sure, 100%. I think we all need a little more Nugget in our life. And if you're new to my channel or new to my streams, and you don't know who Nugget is, you are missing out. You're missing out on a great family pet. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, definitely go back to my Inktober streams, and maybe I don't know, maybe I don't remember when Nugget really started to appear. I think he made his first appearance on day 2. No. It was day 3. Yeah, it was like day 3, and then pretty much every single stream from day 3. So nearly 28, 27 days of Nugget. Not to mention the comic strips that I made of our fearless Nugget. A coffee mug with a sleepy Nugget would be awesome. I like that idea for sure. Good morning, Tycho. What about pencils with your logo? You know, I don't know if Redbubble has pencils. If they do, I mean, that'd be kind of cool, but yeah. DJ doesn't know who Nugget is. You guys gotta catch DJ up with who Nugget is. The chat will fill you in a little bit, DJ. But the best way to get to know Nugget, really the only way to get to know Nugget, is to go back to my my Inktober live streams. That's where you will learn the best who Nugget is and what he stands for. But Nugget, by the way, is the family pet. Okay, I'm gonna make this shell more yellowish. I'm gonna try to focus on making it more yellow. Bring some more of this color in here, and then I'll use my green to kind of shade it a bit. Would any of you be interested in the line art for this here? I have a picture of it that I could put it in the family. I could post it on the Facebook family page, and if you guys want to just click download and print it out and color it yourself, I'm more than happy to do that. So just let me know if you'd be interested in that, and I'll post it after the live stream so you guys can color it too. Sorry if you've already said what happened, but you've got thousands more subs since the last time I noticed, probably 5,000 more. Yes, Doodle Stuff. So I did mention it a little bit in the beginning that I finally, as of yesterday, I did finally make it to 20,000 subscribers. And if you want to know what happened, well, what happened is that I made a couple. I made a couple really good videos back in like late October or early December. I think I posted it, but I spent about 3 weeks. I spent about 3 weeks on just a single video, and what I did is I took like I took an example of a video. Actually, my wife, I have to thank my wife, to be honest with you. It was all my wife, because she went online and she just looked up like popular videos or whatever, popular tutorial videos, and sent me a whole bunch of them. And you know, the funny thing is that a lot of the really popular colored pencil tutorials or pastel tutorials or drawing tutorial videos, they're actually really bad. Like they're super mediocre in both instruction and production quality. And aside from getting plenty of compliments on my ability to draw, I also get a ton, almost endless amounts of compliments on my ability to explain my strategy for coloring, drawing, you know, art in general. And because of my teaching ability, a lot of people are able to understand me and my instruction much better than a majority of people that try to do or try to teach art. And for that reason, what I did is I went through the videos that my wife sent me, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to not only am I going to redo this tutorial, I'm going to make it better and I'm going to add more to it. And I spent about 3 weeks literally just planning the tutorial. I wrote out the script word for word, so that I made sure everything that I was saying was key to understanding the techniques and strategy for the whole process. And the video I'm talking about is my how to blend colored pencil tutorial, which is my best performing video on my channel by far. And when I finally sat down, recorded it, edited it, and everything, made it what it is, then I posted it, and it just blew up. The video just blew up. It's actually the #1. If you search on YouTube how to blend colored pencils, it's the #1 video. It's the top video, and that's a pretty big deal. Like, there's a lot of blending colored pencil videos on YouTube, but mine is #1, and that is why my channel has grown so much in the past couple months. It's because of that video, and yeah, I don't have much else to say other than that. But also, there's a couple other videos I posted after that that have been doing really well. A pastel tutorial video that I did, and honestly, between those two videos, it has been it has been just huge, not only for my YouTube channel, but also for my colored pencil course and my pastel course. So it's really just been fantastic, just all around. Yes, Nugget is the coolest slug around. Honestly, you can do all sorts of pro cuts with nuggets: stickers, pillows, postcards, shopping bags, cases. Yeah, I'm definitely planning on having all of that nugget merchandise for sure. I have an idea I have an idea for a shirt. I'm not going to say it now, but once it's up on the website, I think this might be the shirt that I introduce next week on the Drawing Journal, because I want to announce this on next week's Drawing Journal that the store is like open and you can go buy stuff. So I'm gonna try to get a lot of that stuff done this week. You have Anna's clay. Haven't forgot about it. Okay, Brenda, so, you know, don't feel bad. Send it out whenever you want. And I'm sure Anna will greatly appreciate it. Nugget hopefully will be a TV cartoon one day. That would be hilarious, Steve. Yeah, that would be hilarious. You just finished all 18.7 hours of my Patreon tutorial of the portrait. Learned so much. Yours is from other portrait videos I've watched. Well, I'm very glad to hear that, Lady Marigold. That's a long tutorial session, 18 and a half hours or so. Yeah, that was a long project. That was a long project, and we definitely covered a whole bunch. You found Doodle Stuff. You found me through Inktober at the time, and I had about 13,000 subscribers. I said you deserved more because of how talented and thorough you are. I'm pleased for you. I've watched the pencil videos a few times. Well, thank you, Doodle Stuff. It was I was glad that you found me during Inktober. I think I remember that. I think I remember that. But yeah, I'm glad that everything has really been working out so well, because during that time, like, and immediately after Inktober, you know, I was feeling a little defeated, because I thought that by participating in Inktober, my channel would grow a lot, because I was live streaming every day for an entire month, and it actually, the reverse happened. When I was, during the month of October, everything was going backwards, and it was really, I felt really defeated and a little worried, actually, because I felt like the chances of me accomplishing the goals necessary to justify continuing my YouTube career, I wasn't anywhere near meeting them. Whereas right now, I am so far ahead of where I thought I was going to be that there is just no chance that I'm stopping this year anyway. So as long as I keep meeting my goals, I will continue to do YouTube full time. And right now I am ahead of schedule, so things are really, really good in that regard. And I have to say that I super appreciate everybody's support. I never get tired of thanking you guys for how awesome you are, and motivating me to create. And I'm glad that I am able to teach you guys as much as I, you know, possibly can. I don't hold anything back. I try to explain everything in the best detail that I can, as simplified as possible, so that it maximizes how much you can learn in a short amount of time, because I don't want to be long-winded and unnecessary. So I'm just glad that I have your guys' support, because it is beyond words. And as I feel like every time I hit a little bit of a milestone, because another milestone that I hit almost simultaneously with 20,000 subscribers is 1 million views, which is just, I mean, when you think about it, 1 million like views, like 1 million is a big number. Like, that's a lot. And I just, you know, I don't forget what it feels like to sit there and be struggling just with 10,000 views, 10,000 total views on my channel. can definitely remember back then feeling excited when my videos were getting like 100 views. It was like the biggest accomplishment in the whole world. But now it's just so much bigger, and I never expected any of this, and I never want to take any of it for granted. So I always want to show my appreciation as much as I can. So thank you all again. Let's see, I don't understand why you don't have double or triple the subscribers. Every video I search, you are always on the top 5. Are people blind? I think maybe it's just recent that my videos are starting to pop up a little bit more as my channel's starting to grow. I'm getting favored by the YouTube algorithm a bit more. So I've kind of hit that sweet spot a little bit where my channel is just going to start getting noticed, and it's definitely happened. So I think that I don't think that it's that people are blind. It's that they're just now seeing me for the first time. Oh, hello, Leontine. Thank you for the congratulations. I really appreciate that. Maybe one day I'll catch up to you. The next step is getting my little check mark beside my name. You know, I don't know why I'm not verified yet, but hopefully that will happen over time. Let's see. We are proud of you. Thank you, Brenda. I appreciate that. Enris. I only found you a couple weeks ago, and I'm so glad I did. Well, you know what, DJ? I'm super glad you did too. It's, you know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're a new subscriber or old subscriber. I appreciate everybody, and I always want to try to express that the best that I can. So I'm glad that you found me. Better late than never, you know. And I hope that you continue to come by the live streams and have fun and meet some great people, because I think that of all the things I love the most, it's just how awesome you guys are in the live chat and hanging out, you know. And I don't have moderators for my live streams, and you know, I don't really run into every once in a while we get kind of a weird spammer or whatever running through the chats, but it's rare, and you know, they just get ignored. But it doesn't happen very often, and for the most part, I think that the live streams they're good because I have so many great people in the stream. For the check mark, you have to contact YouTube. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll consider doing that. I thought it just happened automatically once you got noticed or something like that. I don't know. You know, I didn't choose these colors because I thought that it'd make this grasshopper look realistic, but the green and yellow kind of goes with the green of the grasshopper's natural colors, and I swear to you, I did not intend for that to be the case. And I don't have any reference photo. I'm just kind of coloring. I'm just coloring randomly, to be honest with you. I don't even know what I'm doing. Let's see. It's easy to see why you have 1 million views. Great art, excellent instruction, and I think the biggest part, your peaceful soul shines through in every video. Well, thank you, Rich. I'm glad that I come across that way. Yeah, I never really, I guess I would never have described myself that way, but more and more people are kind of bringing that to my attention. So I always appreciate it when somebody brings it up. Oh, hello, Price Line. I didn't see you come into the chat. It's been a little while since I've seen you in the chat, and I didn't forget how to pronounce your name. Do you know any cheap, good art colors? Pencils. I always for colored pencils. I always recommend Prismacolors. They're cheap, depending on where you're at. But I know some countries they are ridiculously overpriced. Yeah, Prismacolors is always what I recommend. I'm now starting up my art again, watching you. Thank you. That's fantastic, DJ. Yes, very glad to hear that. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. If you guys have any questions, I'm gonna try to start coloring again. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to tag me in them in the chat so that I can see them a little bit easier, and I will do my best to get to them. But if you have any other topics of conversation, feel free to bring those up as well, because I struggle conversationally, if you haven't noticed. Has anybody watched any good movies recently? I watched, I didn't realize how insanely inexpensive it is for Anna and I to go out to the movies, but we make it like, it is like a regular thing now. Anna and I, we go to the movies like once a week now, because for the price of the two of us, it's like $9. Like that's it, like $9. That is awesome. I mean, when you convert things from the Polish zloty to the US dollar, everything is ridiculously cheap. But I never really thought about going to the movies, and then we went to the movies and I realized how insanely cheap it was, and now we go like every week. So last week we watched what is that movie called? Three Billboards. It's definitely rated R, I'm certain of that, but yeah, it was so good. Like, if you haven't seen the Three Billboards movie, I'm not going to spoil anything or anything like that, but it was really, really good. And I'll tell you what I loved about this movie. It's sad. Like, it is a genuinely sad movie, but during like some of the most sad parts in the movie, they make you laugh. Like, the characters make you laugh at some of the saddest points in the movie, and it's so refreshing to have a movie that is complex in its story, but is very dramatic and like kind of pulls at your emotions, and then out of nowhere just forces you to laugh, and it's just a really great movie. It was so well done. It was so well done. The dialogue in the movie feels very organic. The acting is phenomenal. I mean, I'm talking like a movie critic, but it's so good. It's so good. So if you've been thinking about watching the Three Billboards movie, think no longer. Go watch the movie. It's so good. Let's see. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. I'm snickering because when you become over-the-top successful, I can say I knew the younger whippersnapper almost from the start. Yes, indeed, Steve. I can assure you I will never forget you. So no matter how many subscribers, those of you that I see on a regular basis, and especially those of you that are kind enough to support me over on Patreon, you will not be forgotten, I can assure you of that. I'm waiting to see 50 Shades in theaters. I can't do that movie. The 50 Shades stuff. Even when I watch the trailers, now I've actually never watched any of them. I know this is like the third or fourth one or something like that. Even when I watch the trailers, I am not convinced. Like, the chemistry, or should I say lack of chemistry, between the people that are supposed to be like in love through this story, because I vaguely understand what the movie is supposed to be about based on the books. I don't believe it. They just don't connect well, and I don't feel like they really have a connection, even in the trailers, based on the dialogue and the way they interact with each other on the trailers. It feels forced, and it doesn't appeal to me. Sorry, if you love the movie, that's great, but yeah, I just don't know about it. Good morning, Derek. I didn't see you come in. Do you have any tips on skin tones with polychromos? Yes, buy Prismacolors instead. I'm going to have to bug out as it's ridiculous o'clock in the morning. Grasshopper's looking great. I will come back and watch the recording. All right, Dale, I appreciate you coming by. You have a good night. Seen Peter Rabbit this weekend. Peter Rabbit. I haven't heard of that one. Just wanted to drop by as I'm at work. Oh, okay, Moni. Well, I hope you have a good day at work. Yeah, DJ, I imagine that the books are probably a lot better than the movies. I find that to be the case 9 out of 10 times. I don't know if I've ever read a book that was even on par with the movies. Trying to think. I haven't done that very often. I've read the Harry Potter books. They were by far better than the movies. I didn't like there was a lot I didn't like about the interpretation of the books in the movies. And I can understand that it would be a massive undertaking to try to get all the details of the books into the movies, but I feel like they did just a mediocre job in that regard. The movies were still fun. I still enjoy watching them, but in comparison to the books, they just, nah. I'd rather read the books again. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else. And then last night I watched the movie Bomb City. It's a relatively new movie, and also very good. Also very sad. Very sad movie. I don't know what is this. I'm watching sad movies. I didn't expect it to be sad. I had no idea what it was about, to be honest with you. The only movie I've seen that did justice to the books was the Lord of the Rings series. I've tried to read The Hobbit. Yeah, I tried to read the Hobbit book. That was the closest I ever got to the Lord of the Rings series, but I don't think I ever made it even a third of the way through the book. I was quite a bit younger, and I really wasn't into reading all that much when I was younger. So I would probably enjoy it more now, especially since I have a larger vocabulary and I could probably understand the book a lot more. But I am a fan of the Lord of the Rings movies. I think, I have to admit that I think I might be even more of a fan of the Hobbit trilogy rather than the Lord of the Rings. I kind of, maybe it was just the updated, visual effects in the Hobbit series that I was able to enjoy the movie more. But I really liked the Hobbit series a lot, and I know a lot of people kind of gave that movie series, some crap about not being good, but I have to disagree. I thought it was fun to watch. I enjoy the adventure of it. I like any movie that takes me out of reality and kind of takes me into a fantasy world, like the Hobbit series and Lord of the Rings. It's always fun. That's why I really like the like, wow, I can't even remember the name, and it's going to be really, really sad when I remember it. Game of Thrones? Oh my goodness, how did I forget the name of that? Whole world knows Game of Thrones. But yeah, I really like that TV series because it's so in depth, so detailed. I think Lord of the Rings would have made a really good TV series rather than a movie trilogy. Or is it 4? I don't know. Is it 3 or 4 for the Lord of the Rings? I can never remember. Yeah, could you imagine like Lord of the Rings translated into like 10, 15 seasons of TV episodes, kind of like Game of Thrones? I think it would have been insanely rad. Because just the amount of character detail that you can get into by taking a story and applying it to a TV series, being able to spread out all those details over a longer stretch of time. I think those detailed fantasy stories benefit from that type of presentation as opposed to movies. I'm watching the series Grace and Frankie. It's really funny. I never heard of that one. Watching the Olympics. I don't remember the last time I've had TV. I think I got rid of cable TV in 2008, 2009. Maybe it was 2009. I don't know. It's been a really, really long time. I don't even know what commercials are anymore. The closest thing I have to commercials is YouTube ads. But yeah, I would like to watch the Olympics. There has to be a live stream somewhere online where I can tune in and check it out. Anna really likes figure skating. She likes to watch figure skating, so maybe we can find an online stream of the Olympics. There's got to be something, right? There's got to be something. How could the Olympics not be streamed in 2018? Like that just seems wrong. I've read them all from The Hobbit to the very last of the Lord of the Rings. Best series I've ever read, and I read on average about 40 books a year since I was around 20 years old. Wow, that's a lot of books. I want a house designed like a Hobbit house, round doorways and all. Oh, that would be cool. I don't have TV, but I have Netflix. Yeah. Okay, so it is online. Yeah, I'll have to search for the stream for the Olympics and try to figure out when ice skating is playing so I can let Anna know. I think she would appreciate that. I like gymnastics. I've always really enjoyed watching gymnastics. Because people jumping and flipping around has always been like super interesting to me. It's just crazy what people are capable of doing, what humans are capable of doing. It's quite amazing. And of course, snowboarding. Love watching snowboarding. I was actually watching a little bit of the X Games. I was watching a little bit of the X Games, but haven't seen any of the Winter Olympic sports in a while. All right. I wanted to mention again before I forget, and maybe I didn't mention it. I think I did. But I have a link. I have a link to Nick's video about what I'm doing here, creating a 3-colored drawing here. And if you want to participate, I think there's still some time. Yeah, I think there's like a week left or something like that. But the videos that he makes, he presents a challenge every week, and they're usually just a simple challenge you can sit down and participate in. And then you just tag him on Facebook or Instagram or something like that, and he'll share it in the following video. So if you want a little bit of exposure over on his channel, feel free to do a 3-colored challenge and tag him in it, or tag appropriately. I forget what the tag is actually supposed to be, but if you watch the video that I have a link to in my in the description of this live stream, you can watch his video and participate in the challenge, and then tag what he says to tag it on Instagram and stuff, and then he'll share it on his following video. And so that's what my plan is to do here. I'm gonna send it to him, and then it will be on his following video. So always take the opportunity for free exposure, unless it's somebody saying, will you draw something for me for free, and then doing it for the exposure. That's a different thing. Love the gymnastics and any skiing, also ice skating. Heck yeah, love all the Winter Olympics. Oh goodness, so the ice skating and snowboarding is already over. That's unfortunate that I missed it. Guess I'll have to watch the recording, unfortunately. Yeah, the time zone, since South Korea is pretty far from Poland, but the time zone that would be going on, I suppose it'd be too early in my morning to watch it live or anything like that. But yeah, it would have been nice to have thought of figuring out when those were playing. But oh well. All right, I'm gonna do a tiny bit of blending. Let's see here. Just blend out some of these colors. Soften that pencil grainy texture. And over here on this leg. There we go. Oh, you know what? I almost forgot. I posted it on Facebook, but so over on Patreon, we finished a project this past Friday. Finished this dolphin in colored pencils. So I thought I'd share it, show everybody. It was a fun project, like 5 weeks long. So I do have the full tutorial of that project over on Patreon, if that interests you at all. All right, let's see here. You know what? I want to get into some of this purple. So I think what I'm going to do is just do a light coat of purple, really light coat of purple on his wings, and then incorporate a bit of yellow. I think I'm going to have it go from like a darker purple here, and then fade into yellow, or maybe I'll have it fade into the green color. That green, it is 276, right? Yeah. it looks more, it looks so much more green here, whereas on my color chart it actually looks, from my perspective, it looked much more teal colored, a lot more blue in it, but it doesn't, I don't feel like it has a whole lot of blue in it. So I'm going to do some light purple, and then I'm going to fade into this what should be teal but isn't, green, and then I'll fade into yellow. But I'm gonna keep the wings lighter because they are translucent, so I'm not gonna press really hard here. And then I'll use my solvent to blend them out. Oh, hello, Wicked Illusions. Happy to catch the stream. Well, I'm happy that you were able to catch some of the stream as well. Still got quite a bit of coloring to do. I don't know if I'm actually going to finish this on the stream because I've been streaming for a little over an hour now, and I don't like to make the streams too terribly long because I feel like that deters people from watching it after it's been completed, because they see like, oh my goodness, 5-hour stream. I don't want to sit down for 5 hours and listen to that clown ramble on. So I probably won't go on too much longer, but let's get these wings done. Maybe get these wings done and then the back legs here, I think that's reasonable, yeah. There we go. I like those wings. It has a nice kind of flow of color. I'm going to go a little bit darker on my purple here. Just another light layer. And I originally inked this with like some of the, what pens are those? The Pigma pens. And the paper, this is the Stonehenge Vellum paper, so it's a very common paper that I use all the time. But I don't like to use markers on the Stonehenge Vellum. It's too absorbent for markers. Alright, let's blend this out now and see how nice our wings look. I like that purple color. Definitely like the purple color. There we go. That teal color is starting to come out a bit more with the solvent. Yeah, it's nice to get some purple in there too. Not enough purple in this grasshopper here. I think I'm going to use some purple on its, I think this is technically called the thorax. Not mistaken. I'm a little behind on my my insect anatomy, so I'm not 100% certain if that is indeed considered the thorax, but I think it is. Hello everyone. Hello Hildy. Good night Coffee Cat. Thanks for coming by. Is there a difference between colorless blenders? Yes, there is 100% a difference between colorless blenders. If you compare the Prismacolor colorless blender to the Luminance colorless blender, I actually don't know of any other brands to be honest with you, you'll find that the Prismacolor colorless blender is very stiff. It's very hard. It's almost like a, it almost feels like a scratchier Polychromos pencil. And I don't like it because I feel like instead of blending the colors, it ends up scratching them off. Whereas the Luminance colorless blender is super soft and creamy. And when I use a colorless blender, I only ever use the Luminance. They're not very expensive. You can get them in like packs of like 3 or 4 or something like that for a reasonable price, and they are super nice. They're super nice. What paper do I prefer with markers? I find most marker paper is just too thin. Oh yes, I hate marker paper. Marker paper is the worst paper to use with markers, ironically, in my opinion. The best paper that I have ever used with markers is the Strathmore Bristol Plate. It's a bit more of an expensive paper, but if you want to downgrade slightly and still have a really great paper, you can go with the Strathmore Bristol Smooth. The Bristol Smooth, I believe, is a 300 series paper, so it's a lot cheaper than the 500 series plate paper. But if you want the best paper, then go with the Strathmore Bristol Plate. I have yet to find a better paper for markers. Derwent also has a blender, and it is softer than Prismacolor. I haven't used the I haven't used any other brands other than the Prismacolor and Luminance, because the Luminance one, I have a hard time believing that anything could be better than the Luminance one. But I could be wrong. Could be wrong. Maybe I'll have to pick up a Derwent blender and a Rembrandt one, perhaps, to see. Oh, you like the long streams. I put them on when I draw. The longer, the better. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Although I'll definitely have to jump off here in about 13 minutes maximum, because I still have dishes to do, and I can't let my wife come home to dirty dishes. It's just not fair. I get to do this all day while she's at work. The least I can do, is the dishes. Happy wife, happy life. That's, you gotta keep your wife happy. I want to try Luminance now that you have said how much softer they are. Yes, I definitely recommend them. What am I doing? Oh, legs. Do I have time for the legs? I think I have time for the legs. I'm just gonna scribble in some green here. And down here. This doesn't have to be anything spectacular. I'm just making it up anyway. Let's go with some green here. And like that. Let's come across there. I'm glad you guys like the long streams. I like the long streams too. It's not like I want to stop streaming. I enjoy hanging out with you guys and just chatting for as long as I can kind of think up things to talk about. But yeah, I like to just sit here and draw and hang out. And talking about that, you guys, let me know what you guys are working on. I'd love to know. And if you have any art questions about your projects or whatnot, make sure, if you're not already a family member on the Unmasked Art Family Facebook page, I have the link to that in the description, and feel free to post your work in progresses so you can get some input if you're stuck on something. We have a good number of fantastic artists in the family group that have just a wealth of knowledge and good inspiring spirits. So if you're feeling stuck on something, I'm sure either myself or one of those lovely people will be more than happy to kind of help remotivate you in some cases, if necessary. It's just a group of for learning and kind of spreading the wealth of information that all of us combined have. Nugget would look cool staring at the grasshopper. Yeah, just throw in a little nugget, maybe a little nugget in the background in the distance or something. Yeah. I feel like this looks a lot cooler on my screen here, but it is coming out kind of cool, I have to say. That's what we love about your streams, that it feels like we're just friends hanging out together. You know, I feel the same exact way, Shannon. That's why I love to do it. I just like to hang out and draw and chat about randomness. Oh, hello, Kelly. It has been a while since I got to catch you in a live stream. I'm super glad that you were able to make it as well. I don't remember the last time. I feel like the last time was Inktober or something. It couldn't have been that long, could it? Alright, so I have like the leg joint area complete here. Let's see, maybe a bit more yellow here. And of course I gotta get some yellow down here too. There we go. Now I have the thorax and the hind legs. So I'm trying to think of how I want to do these legs, because I don't want to do them too similar to this. Maybe, trying to think. You know, maybe I will just kind of stick to what I've been doing. Or maybe I should do the legs more yellow. Maybe like this, similar to that. Yeah, let's go with yellow. I got an idea now. So I'm gonna do the base color in yellow, similar to how I did that, and then I shaded it with the green, and when I blended it out, it was nice and soft. I like that. That actually kind of makes it easier to do the legs faster as well. And then I'm just going to start on this side here like this, come all the way over to here. Just color the whole leg yellow. Try to avoid my spots here a little bit so that they don't turn yellow too. But when you use colored pencils over ink and then you blend out with the solvent, a colored pencil doesn't want to stick to ink as well as it does to paper, so you can actually brush off a bit of the colored pencil from the ink using the solvent. A little bit, but you still want to try your best to avoid it. These live streams are so much a part of my life. I would definitely miss everyone if I went away. So many new friends all over the world. Yes, well, oh, I gotta check out Nugget. Thank you, Will. Bye, everyone. Oh, okay, DJ, you take care. Thank you. Thank you for coming by. Your long streams, especially along with good art and a pleasant voice to listen to, OFC, RY, OFC. What is OFC? Of course? Of course? I don't know. You have to help me figure out what OFC is. Maybe it was just typo. YouTube is my drawing background music. Congrats on the 20K. Oh, well, thank you, Thank you, Wicked Illustration. Illusion. Wicked Illusion. Oh, hello, Renee. Glad you could come. Oh, and Wendy. I was afraid I was going to miss you today. Yes, these are Polychromos pencils that I'm using right now. I decided to use Polychromos because there was 3 colors that I'd never really used. And, you know, I haven't used my Polychromos pencils all that much. So I went with these 3 colors and decided to just do this in Polychromos. Okay, so it is, of course. Not a challenging challenge. It's, you know, it hasn't really been much of a challenge, to be honest with you, because it's just been fun. You know, 3 colors kind of makes it easy, to be honest with you. But it's still somewhat of a challenge trying to figure out how I want to incorporate my 3rd color. It would be way too easy if it was just 2 colors. But with the purple, like I didn't want to make too much purple, but I want that purple to come in, and so I focused on the wings, and I'm going to put it here on the thorax as well. I think I'm going to do the thorax kind of similar to how I did the wings, but with a you know, trying to make it look shiny, I guess, like kind of the rest of it here. But now I'm going to do some light shading with my green on the legs here, just a little bit, not too much. I want them to be predominantly yellow with just a touch of green shading. Because I want it to match this part. So I'm not going to use too much, and then I'll just blend it out. Oh, hello, Kenny. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Wow, you've been holding out. This is the first time I've heard you heard of your Facebook page, just signed up. Well, I've always had the link in the description. I'm here starting a portrait I'm not enjoying and hoping for it to finish itself. I know the struggle, Leontine. I do know the struggle. I imagine that it's a commission. Otherwise, you'd probably be having a little bit more fun. That's kind of the feeling that I always have when I do a commission. Is that as soon as I start it, I stop having fun with it. So yeah, I've really taken. I've really stopped the commissions. I was asked for a commission like last week or a week and a half ago, and it was for something small that I probably could have done in like 15 minutes or something, but I had to tell the person my new prices, which immediately got a decline. So I was kind of satisfied with that, because I'm not going to completely stop commissions, but my base price is now $1,000, so I won't do any projects that don't make me $1,000, because with the amount of time that commissions take me, I have to evaluate the opportunity cost. And what I mean by that is if you choose to do one thing, then you're unable to do another thing. And so I have to compensate for all the time that it would take me to do a commission that would stop me from doing a lot of other things that I'd be able to, roll over into what I feel like would make more money, something like that. Love all the previous artwork, especially the pastel paintings. Oh, well, thank you so much, Ko. Hopefully it is pronounced Ko. I can't imagine it's pronounced any way else. But from Singapore, that's very cool. I've been to Singapore. It's a lovely country, very clean. Let me blend out these legs real quick. Yeah, I went to Singapore back in 2009. Why does it feel like I've done everything in 2009? I feel like my life started in 2009. Was it? I think it was. Yeah, it was 2009. I was on deployment, and my ship pulled into to Singapore for a few days, and definitely enjoyed. The one thing that I vividly remember about Singapore was how awesome the public transportation is, because you can just get anywhere on the island like super quick. You just hop on the train tram thingy, and takes you wherever you need to go. Super convenient. Yeah, it was a very fun country to visit. So fun, in fact, I'd love to go back someday. One of those countries that I've been to that one visit wasn't enough for me. Yep, totally agree. I don't ever want to do commissions. I want the freedom to do what I like. Yep, that's how I feel. What kind of commission? I don't understand. What kind of commission was I asked to do? Maybe is that what you're asking? I'm not quite sure I understand the question. Do I prefer pastels or colored pencils? To be honest with you, I don't have a preference between the two. I love working with colored pencils and I love working with pastels. If I'm doing a landscape, then I love pastels. If I'm doing a portrait, then I love colored pencils. I've done a couple portraits with the pastels, and it's fun. It's fun. Very difficult because I still have a lot of learning to do, and I like the control that I get with colored pencils. I just feel like it's easier for me to do portraits with colored pencils, but then again, I love the softness that I get from the pastels. So it's tough to say, but I don't like one more than the other, unless we're talking about a specific subject. I understand what you're saying. I just raised my prices, so I hope to be less busy with commissions this year. Well, you definitely deserve to raise your prices, Leontine. As I commented earlier on your post, way too cheap. Gotta bump those prices up for sure. It's always a good feeling to bump your prices up. You definitely deserve it. Your work is fantastic. Your pet portraits. They always come out looking just so, I don't want to say stylized, but you have a very nice kind of relaxing style with your pet portraits. Whether you're working with colored pencils or pastels, they come out looking really, really nice. And when I went to your website and saw how inexpensive they were, I was like, wow, no wonder she's constantly doing commissions. But a good rule of thumb with commissions, from my perspective, is that if you have a commission like every week, then you probably need to change your prices. Even if you have a commission like every 2 weeks, you probably need to change your prices. Because think of it this way: if you do, say your price is like ridiculously cheap, like $200, but you do 4 commissions a month, why would you want to do 4 commissions a month for $200 each? That's only $800 a month. What if you just bumped your prices up to $600 for a commission, and then you only need to do 1.5 commissions a month to make the same amount of money, actually to make more money if you're doing it 1.5 times a month. So if you figure out your kind of equation to pricing things out, because another way to think about it is yearly. That's the way that I think about it. I think about yearly. For me, around anywhere between like 6,000 to 10,000 a year for commissions is where I want to be at. So do I want to just do 6 commissions a year? I would be happy doing only 6 commissions a year and making 6,000 to 10,000 for that full year, as opposed to having how many commissions would you have to do for $200 in order to get 6,000? You'd have to do 30 commissions. So it's 30 commissions compared to 6 commissions. That's nobody wants to do 30 commissions and make the same amount as somebody doing 6 commissions. So yeah, I like to get into the math side and calculate like what I need to do to make the same amount, or if not more money. Would be great if you visited Singapore again. Lots of changes here. Yeah, I bet. It's been like a decade since I've been there. I'd love to go back. They have an art museum. That'd be cool to go check out. Which one is the best colored pencil in your opinion? So best colored pencil in my opinion is Luminance. But if you're a beginner, the best colored pencils is Prismacolor. I would say it goes Luminance, Prismacolor, Polychromos, since that's actually all I have to work with. There's other brands coming out and things like that. I should start coloring again so you guys don't get bored. Let's see, how do I want to do this? I think I'm just going to treat it like the wings maybe. I'll start with purple. And I think I'm going to keep it kind of in the middle. So let's start shaping in some purple here. Love your guys' questions. I really appreciate you asking and whatnot. If you have more questions, feel free to ask as many as you want. Love answering questions. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about your sweet dog, Wendy. Hopefully everything turns out okay. Okay, so you are a beginner at colored pencils. Then I definitely recommend the Prismacolors. They're just such a wonderful entry-level pencil. I mean, they have their issues, but in the long run, I think that they are far superior to any other choice for beginners, just because of their price value and color range. And if you're new to colored pencils, I have an intro to colored pencil course that I sell on my website. It's only $10, so it's 6 hours long, and it definitely gets you started with colored pencils. I have the link to that in the description as well. That's something that has been, you know, aside from getting to 20,000 subscribers, my colored pencil course and my pastel course have been just selling like crazy. It's been fantastic. It's always a good feeling when I wake up in the morning and the first email I get is just a bunch of people have ordered my colored pencil course. My pastel course is getting more and more popular now too, as my most recent pastel tutorial that I posted a little while ago is getting super popular now too. So just all kinds of good stuff going on for sure. Hopefully when I set up my Redbubble site, that will also start going well. We don't get bored, it's just like hanging out with you. By the way, you'll be happy to know I finally talked my husband into going vegan with me. Wendy, that is beyond awesome. Honestly, I am more excited about that news than the fact that I got 20,000 subscribers. That is super rad. Feel free to hit me up for any recipes or anything like that. I know the transition going to vegan can be a bit overwhelming, and you feel like you can't eat anything at first. But one of the most important things that I learned after I went vegan was that I didn't know how to cook. I didn't know how to cook until I went vegan, and I always thought I knew how to cook, even before I was vegan. But now I might as well be a certified chef because I can make anything. You give me a pot of water and flour, and I will make you a 4-course meal. I can make just about anything now, and it took some time, but yeah. So just you let me know, Wendy, if you need some recipes. Anna has actually been writing down all of our recipes. She got a recipe journal kind of thing, and she's been writing down all of our recipes because we had some printed out and we had some just handwritten. I had some on little note cards that I quickly put together, recipes for peanut butter cookies, and just so that I'm super excited, and that makes me so happy. It must have been my donuts, right? Your husband saw how delicious my donuts were, and they were delicious. I actually made a second batch of donuts. The Fat Thursday translated into Fat Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So we kind of had a whole fat weekend. I'm thinking on trying colored pencils. I use soft pastels, but unfortunately I don't have much free time, but I really want to try colored pencils for the first time. I really like your work a lot. Well, thank you, Curtis. I'm glad to hear that. Definitely give colored pencils a try. You know, if you don't feel like you have a lot of time, then maybe don't go out and buy like the full set of colored pencils. Maybe just grab a small set and play around with them. Try a few techniques. Work with a limited color palette and see how you like the medium. And I think that I think that you'll enjoy it. Because you don't have to have the widest color selection in the world to enjoy working with colored pencils, because they are such a versatile medium, They mix well, which a lot of people are surprised to find out, but they mix well with just a, I mean, you can see what I'm doing here with just 3 colors. So imagine, buying just a pack of 12. You made him watch Forks Over Knives, and he turned to me and said, when do we start? Oh, that's funny. I remember watching Forks Over Knives. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm trying to remember. So I've went over the story of how I went vegan, and partially it was just because I had a friend that was vegetarian, and I was like, why are you vegetarian? And he said, just look up why you should be vegetarian. In the process of looking that stuff up, I came across the vegan diet, and the documentary that I watched that was probably the strongest motivator that took me from just being an omnivore to going vegan. I'm trying really hard to remember the name. It's not a popular documentary. It's like super low budget. What was it? Oh gosh darn it. This is gonna drive me crazy. Oh gosh, what was it? My friend had like the video file of this documentary, and he gave it to me. He's like, yeah, just watch this, and it was gosh, what was the name of it? Oh gosh, this was like 10 years ago. It was like 10 years ago, and I can't remember the name of it. But I see it. I can like see the title right here. It's like right here, but I cannot for the life of me remember what it's called. Oh, that is still gonna drive me crazy. Yeah, you should. Yeah, I think Forks Over Knives would be a good one. That's a good one. That's not too convoluted with like an emotional aspect. Forks Over Knives is a really good one because it follows people and you get to see like real results. Gosh, there's so many documentaries that I've watched over the years, and I wish that I could remember the one that I wish I could remember what was the name of it. Oh geez, gosh, I'm gonna have to look it up. I'm gonna have to look it up after the live stream, because it is gonna eat at me all day if I do not. Maybe if I don't focus on it, it will come to me. But all I can do is think about what the name of that documentary was, because I can see it right here. I can see like the title and the kind of the first opening page of the documentary. Gosh, what was the name of it? It was a really good one. Very, like I said, it was super low budget. It's not anything I'd really recommend anybody watch because it was so dry. Forks Over Knives is a little bit better version of it. But yeah, a documentary can be a really good motivator. It's packed with a bunch of useful information. And that's kind of what helped motivate me into becoming vegan. But then again, when I went vegan, it was all about my health, and it remained that way for a really long time. I just wanted to be as healthy as I possibly could, and then from there, I get the added benefit of just living a more cruelty-free lifestyle. Do you have an experience with gouache? No, I do not. Dying to try it, but not sure what brand to go with. Yeah, I wish I could help you there, Kelly. I almost bought some. And then I didn't. I don't know what else to say there. I was really close. Like I had it in my shopping bag, and I was like, yeah, I changed my mind. The reason I changed my mind because I felt like I was already struggling to juggle colored pencils and pastels at the time, and now I have inks that I haven't used in a while. I'd love to get back into my inks again, and watercolor type stuff, anything watercolory. But yeah, I just haven't. And I know virtually nothing about gouache, so I wish I could help you there, but I'd be lying if I gave you anything. I'm afraid if I went totally vegan that the next time at a rodeo, I'll attack a cow and start biting it. Oh my gosh, you're so ridiculous, Steve. Did you notice an improvement in your health after going vegan? Oh, I 100% noticed. The quick condensed version of me going vegan is I had a friend that was vegetarian. I asked him why. He said, look it up. I looked it up, and I was like, huh, that seems interesting and very beneficial. I'm gonna try to do 2 weeks. I was gonna try to do 2 weeks of being vegetarian. That was my plan. That's how it evolved, right? Well, when I went vegetarian, I continued to look things up, and that's when I came across the vegan diet. The difference between vegan and vegetarian is that vegetarians still eat animal products in the form of dairy. They do milk, cheese, eggs, whereas vegans, they just cut out all animal products completely. And I came across that, and so that led me into discovering the health benefits of being vegan, which far exceed the health benefits of being vegetarian, because dairy is perhaps the worst food that you could eat. If I were to go back to eating animal products, I would be fine going back to eating meat, but never dairy. Dairy is just the worst thing that you could eat. Meat, I would say, is not as bad as dairy, but the difference is very small, which is why I won't go back to eating either. So in finding the vegan diet or lifestyle, it intrigued me, and I was like, you know what? Since I'm already going vegetarian for a couple weeks, how about after vegetarian, I just, give vegan diet a try for a couple weeks. So I make it through a period of time with the vegetarian diet, and in the middle of the 2 weeks or whatever that I was, planning on doing it, I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna do the vegan thing now. It was maybe like a weekend or something like that of trying vegetarian. And by the third day of going vegan, so the first day was pretty much the same as being vegetarian. In essence, the only thing I cut out was like milk or cheese or something. The second day was just pretty much the same as that. And then by the third day, I had felt so much better. It was so significant that on the third day, I told myself that I was never going to go back. It only took me 3 days, and I felt so much better that I never went back. So it's been nearly a decade since that happened, and I have zero intention to ever go back to any animal products whatsoever. And the health benefits that I have now, as an artist, we live a very sedative lifestyle. We're sitting and working all the time, and that can be pretty bad for your health, especially if you incorporate a bad diet into that already sedentary lifestyle. Well, research has been done on vegans that have a sedentary work habit. And one of the big benefits of being vegan is that it's very easy to maintain a healthy weight, because the calories that you take in or the food that you take in is so nutritionally dense that it's very easy to feel full, because you can eat a whole bunch. I essentially eat as much as I want to feel full, and because it's just, you know, fruits and vegetables or grains, it's very easy to just maintain a healthy weight, especially when, you know, my job requires me to just kind of sit all day. So that's one benefit of being vegan and being an artist. It just makes it that much easier to not gain weight. I've pretty much weighed the same for the past 10 years. I mean, there's a lot of things that you have to do. Like, you can be vegan, you can be vegan and still eat a bunch of processed food. So you have to be smart about it as well, because you can be vegan and destroy your health, because you could literally just eat donuts and drink soda all day long, and technically you're vegan because neither of those contain animal products. But the only problem is you're going to kill yourself with calories and lack of vitamins and nutrients. So, you know, when I say vegan, what I really mean is whole foods diet. Like, you got to focus on what's healthy in order to be healthy. The other benefit that I have is that food tastes better. See, when a lot of people don't know this, but when you're born, you don't have a taste for things. Everything that you have grown to like has been essentially an acquired taste. And if you eat like highly processed foods, you actually like burn out your tongue, in the sense that it can't taste subtle things anymore. And so you lose interest in food that is simple because you think it tastes very plain. But when you remove that processed foods and kind of give your tongue a break from being assaulted with chemicals, you taste things differently, and you'll find that you crave very odd foods like broccoli and spinach or something like that. I had a friend, unfortunately he decided not to be vegan anymore, but he was vegan for like a couple years or something like that. I helped motivate him to go vegan for quite a long time, and then once I moved away, he moved away from being vegan. I guess he just lost his support. But he said that about 3 or 4 months in being vegan, he constantly craved spinach, and he would just sit there and eat baby spinach leaves like it was potato chips, because he just found them to be so delicious. And he never liked spinach. So your taste buds change, and I think that they change for the better, because you start craving the healthier choices of food. But beyond that, it also makes simple things taste better. So, you know, who doesn't want the healthy foods to taste better? If you feel obligated to eat healthy, it might as well taste really good. So, you know, removing those processed food is key to getting that kind of reversing that effect of years of torturing your poor tongue with processed foods. Which leads me into probably the most difficult thing about switching to a vegan diet, is that in the beginning your tongue is not prepared for it. Your gut is also not prepared for it. Your digestive system is not prepared for it, and so you can run into a few hiccups with switching to a vegan diet. You always have to give it like a week. Yeah, you have to give it a week. Gotta go. Oh, okay, Derek, you take care. Brussels sprouts are my favorite vegetable. Oh gosh, I have like packs of Brussels sprouts. It drives me nuts when the store runs out of Brussels sprouts, because it's like a thing that Anna and I always eat. And she never really ate Brussels sprouts until she met me. She loves Brussels sprouts. Yeah, Brussels sprouts are the best. 100% vegan, absolutely. And I don't even do nothing. I don't do nothing to my broccoli or my Brussels sprouts. I literally just boil them in some water and eat them. I don't even put salt on them. Like that is how sensitive my tongue is to taste, is that I can enjoy Brussels sprouts and broccoli just as they taste by themselves. Like no salt, no pepper, no nothing. Just straight Brussels sprouts. Like, but yeah, spinach too. I love spinach. That's what I basically replaced lettuce with spinach. So anytime I have like a sandwich or something, I use spinach instead of like romaine lettuce. Not doing processed foods or sugar. I haven't had soda or caffeine or any kind in 2 years. I took a small sip the other day and the soda about threw up. It was nasty. Yes, oh my goodness, Wendy. So way before I went vegan, when I was still in middle school, actually, like this was 8th grade. Yeah, it was 8th grade. So what was I, like 14 at the time? Yeah, I was like 13, 14, somewhere around that age. I'm done with my grasshopper, by the way. I didn't even realize that I finished it, but I'm done with it. So you guys can give me your thoughts on my grasshopper here. I'm satisfied with the way that it looks, using just 3 colors. But anyways, back when I was like 14 or whatever, I was in biology class, and we had to do a report on something. And I don't know what made me choose it. Maybe I had to choose off a list or something. But I decided to do a report on pop. I'm from Ohio. We call it pop. A lot of people call it soda, whatever you want to call it. Pop. And so I did a report on it, and I found that these companies, these soda companies, they steal water. They steal water, and they steal water from like third world countries, totally deplete their water supply just so they can make soda. And I was like, well, that seems stupid. You steal water from people that need it the most to make drinks that people need to stop drinking. And after I did that report, I swore I would never drink soda again. So it has been 15 years since I've drank pop, and I never looked back. And the funny thing is, when I was that age, when I was like 13, 14, all the way up till like 15, I was a little fat. I was a little fat when I was in school, actually. I actually weigh about 50 pounds less now than I did when I was 14 years old. So I quit drinking pop at that age, when I finished that report. And within a 3-month period, I lost 20 pounds. Like, that is how much of a stranglehold pop had on not only my health, but also like just everything, you know. So yeah, this conversation really, we just, you know, we went, what's the way, I can't even talk. I don't even know. Like so many random things, random things in this live stream. But goodness, if you get me talking, if you start asking questions about me being vegan or health, you know, I love it. You know, I think it's like the single most important thing. Because if you're going to enjoy your life, you need to be healthy. I mean, my goodness, you gotta start somewhere, and health is the one thing that you have complete control over, you know. So you can't be unhealthy and happy most of the time. You're probably going to be pretty miserable. So I'm kind of passionate about it, if that wasn't plainly obvious. But I think I'm gonna have to call it a day. I'm way beyond what I said. I'm like a half hour past what I said I was gonna stream for. But I've been yapping, and I'm done with my grasshopper here. But I hope that you guys enjoyed the stream. I hope you like the grasshopper. Again, if you want the line art, I'll post that over on. I'll post this over on the line art over in the Facebook family group, which I have the link in the description. So go check it out. If you want to color it yourself, feel free to. Yeah, that's going to be it for today's live stream. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything. Kind of feel like I am. But thanks again, all of you, for being awesome. Love the conversation. Love hanging out with you guys. If you enjoyed the live stream, give it a thumbs up so that I know that I'm doing something right. And I'll see you next week for the next live stream. But until then, have a lovely week, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Peace.